Good morning, reading room. We have managed to start our class all in the AM. All right. Sometimes I'm saying good afternoon, reading room. This is day 190 in the classroom, and you know what we're reading. Seems to be a big turnoff to a lot of people. Being Catholic Now by Kerry Kennedy. I don't care if it's a turnoff. I love it. Pay attention. Although I have not found my little, probably stuffed it in a book, and who knows what book that's in now. My little metallic bookmark. Oh, yeah, I'm going to look right over there. There it is. Okay. So no bookmark there in the Being Catholic Now book. So it needs a metallic bookmark, and this gives me an opportunity, although I've shown these before. These are from Dollar Tree for $1.25. And if you are a reader of actual books like I am, these are awesome. I love them. They're inspirational, hope, trust. Love is an anchor. So there's an anchor. So rejoice always. I love them. They are so inspirational. And look. But you've seen them before. I don't know why they're not sold out at the dollar store, but I was happy to find a myriad of the same ones. We are going to read from John Sweeney. John Sweeney came up in, what the heck did Sweeney come up in that we were reading? I don't know. But we are reading, which I did not actually give you a heads up on yesterday like I usually do. We read yesterday, which I was like, bravo, bravo. Read almost through the whole thing is what I did. I just modesty, all of it. So Anne Burke. Okay, so now John Sweeney. So he would be shaking the Pope's hand. And that is John Paul II, if I'm not mistaken. So he was the Pope in my lifetime. John Sweeney was born May 5th, 1934, was elected president of the AFL-CIO at the Federation's bicentennial connection in October 1995 and has been re-elected 3 times since. Oh, imagine that, really? Incumbency. Nepotism, sexism, tradeism. October 1995 and has been re-elected 3 times since. He is the author of America Needs a Raise, Fighting for Economic Security and Social Justice. How's that going for you? Re-elected 3 times? How's that social justice going for you? I'm the son of a bitch. I'm sorry. I'm the son of Irish immigrants. That's my attempt at humor. I'm the son of Irish immigrants. I mean disrespect. And it's misplaced. My father was a bus driver in New York City. My mother was a domestic worker. I grew up in a happy home. Next sentence. With 2 sisters and a brother. From my earliest days, I knew that I was a Catholic. My parents lived modestly, but their faith was important to them. I recognized that as strong as our faith was, and the influence it had on our lives, that my father's union, the Transport Workers Union, was also important. Oh, sounds like the union was on the level of God to you in your house. Let's go on. So there was the love of family, the strength of faith, and the support of a union member who recognized that each contract he got might have meant an increase in wages, or it might have meant getting the 40-hour work week or health care or another day's vacation. As kids, we understood that. I went to union meetings with him when I was in high school. He was working 6 days a week. I would ask him if I could go to union events in his place, and I would go around the Bronx on a sound truck with the transport workers. What's a sound truck? A listening device? Is that what you mean? It was the first time I ever spoke over the microphone. Oh, I went to Catholic grammar school, high school, and then on to college. I had a great awareness of social justice and faith. What was it like? What were rounding up your union contributions? Is that what you were yelling? Hide your women and children. Is that what you were yelling? I recognize that be a faithful Catholic. Anywho, where's your money? I recognize that the church had a strong position in supporting the issues of working families and how the church had championed the rights of workers to form unions, to have a decent standard of living, and to also help those who were the neediest. Is that what you were interested in? Our white hope of justice? It didn't matter whether they were people in New York City, farm workers, or people in missions of the developing world. I bet it did. I bet it did matter. It was with that background that I developed a strong awareness and influence through Catholic education as to what the situation was out there, regardless of what kind of a career I would pursue. The Irish Christian Brothers really raised the level of focus on treating human beings with decency and sharing with others. And because the labor movement shares these goals, I realized I could put my faith into action by working in the union movement. I understood what it meant and what it could achieve through workers organizing. Into what? Social workers? As a union member from my earliest days, working my way through college, I've been a very strong supporter of many Catholic activities. I'm a practicing Catholic. I go to Mass sometimes during the week, but certainly every Sunday. My wife is an even stronger Catholic. She goes to Mass every day. I'm sure that my marriage has even strengthened my faith, and if I start to waver, she reins me in. Sounds like a weird bedroom ritual. We work very closely with the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops on domestic policy, workers' issues, wellness, many other public policy issues, and legislation. Many bishops are very supportive, but if you look at the situation of the church as an employer and how it treats its employees in different industries, whether it's healthcare or education, there's a lot that some Catholic organizations could learn about the teachings of the church when it comes to workers, their rights, their right to organize, and their right to a decent standard of living. Yeah, it sounds like just arrogance and entitlement is what it sounds like. And more entitlement, but that's just deepened by your white supremacist arrogancy, but, you know, I'm just here to comment. But the hierarchy seems more conservative in recent years, and the seminaries no longer focus on social justice. The teachings of the church as they apply to human beings, they're right, yeah, should be a high priority. But the hierarchy has changed it. It's a shame because Catholics have a proud history of building our country and making it more just for working people. Irish Catholic laborers provided the backbreaking work needed for the enormous expansion of rapidly industrializing America. And so did the Chinese, and so did the blacks, and so just get on your violin and strum. They ran factories, built railroads in the West, and worked in the coal mines. Possibly. I didn't hear about it. Of course, you know, you may have been the martyrs in that situation, right? When I say I didn't hear about it, it really is sincere. Because maybe other people were championing their own cause, like the blacks, or in a very subtle but intellectual way, the Chinese. Loud and passionate. I tend to be more loud and passionate. Not dissing you, Black America. I didn't get my coffee, and I'm really interested in commenting today over a cup of coffee. I'm going to be right back. I rarely do this in the reading room, but here we are. That heater is so loud. Okay, let's continue where we were. I actually even have my spoon here and a little napkin, as you saw just a minute ago. Here's to you, Oprah, for your efforts in the beef industry. No doubt about it. You needed an unknown. How about that? I wouldn't have believed it either. Lucy, hush. Sit down in your basket. In your basket, I said. This guy's irritating Lucy on purpose. I saw him look right at Lucy and do a signal to Lucy on purpose. Lucy, quiet. Sit down. Sit down. Enough. Sit down. I said sit. I said enough. Nobody's out there anymore. Okay, he was signaling me with his little Nazi signal to the dog. Gotcha, little dog Hitler. Little tater. Gotcha, little tater. Quiet, Lucy. Let's keep it going. Could I only be like the first paragraph through here? Enough. Sit down. It was with that background that I developed a strong awareness and influence through Catholic education as to what the situation was out there, regardless of what kind of career I would pursue. The Irish Christian Brothers really raised the level of focus on treating human beings with decency and sharing with others. Okay. And because the labor movement shares those goals, I realized I could put my faith into action by working in the union movement. I may have read this, I'm not sure. I understand what it meant and what it could achieve through workers organizing. As a union member from my earliest days, working my way through college, I've been a very strong supporter of many Catholic activities. I'm a practicing Catholic. I go to Mass sometimes during the week, but certainly every Sunday with his wife. I already said that. It's a shame. I already said that. Al Smith. All right, here we are. Irish women found work as cooks and maids in houses belonging to wealthy families on Beacon Hill in Boston, along Fifth Avenue in New York, and in most other big cities. In an era of unrestrained capitalism, Irish Catholics organized the first trade unions and held strikes when necessary for higher wages, shorter hours, and safer working conditions. From these hard-working early days, Irish Catholics quickly rose to become leaders in their communities and the nation. And I'm just telling you, all I'm saying is get it under control. You guys went crazy with your one percenters, holding your guns, holding people hostage, calling yourself libertarians when you're not. Al Smith, the grandson of Irish immigrants, ascended from the tenements of the Lower East Side to seek the American presidency in 1928. As governor of New York in the 1920s, Smith originated groundbreaking social reform programs that later became the model for Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal. President John F. Kennedy, actress Maureen O'Hara, James Alton McDivitt, the first Roman Catholic astronaut to go into space, and our own Monsignor George Higgins are just a handful of Irish Catholic leaders who have contributed their talents to our country. One of the many benefits of our multicultural nation is the joining together of Catholics from so many different backgrounds. A few weeks ago, I was with the Latino farm workers down in Immokalee, Florida, with Ethel Kennedy. It's a very Catholic community, very strong in their faith. Before the priest said Mass, he said hello to everyone, knew them all by name. I was proud to have the experience of willing people like that, and there are thousands of people like that. I find such personal connections strengthen my own satisfaction in terms of the work that I'm doing. I was really happy to be there and proud of these people who, as Catholics, are doing such great work. I remember going to Mass with Monsignor George Higgins, Cesar Chavez, and Jesse Jackson. I think I remember, and Cesar Chavez was, like, I'm pretty sure a dictator, who said to me, "You can't help but be proud when participating in a religious event that's celebrating an outstanding human being and recognizing that all these people are committed in terms of helping the farmers have a better life. Really? Because that's not what I heard. I heard farmers were on welfare, and they are the biggest welfare recipients that there are, which is the reason why they were wrapping our seeds in poison. But you know, it's a matter of perspective. We're very strong on empowering women. Right before the slaughter? Right? Is that what I feel like? The sacrificial lamb? With the they struck sword on there? The dagger, the death sword? That struck on the side of my car? I mean, what a religious ceremony is that? Woo-hoo! A few weeks ago, I was with a Latino. Yep. We're very strong on empowering women. As a labor movement, one of the fastest growing segments of our membership is the increase in women workers. They're strong activists and strong leaders. I've attempted to strengthen our women representation at every level in terms of leadership and going down for the team and programs. I'm always happy when the church makes some advance in focusing on women's issues. My faith is always a source of strength for me. There's not a day that goes by that I don't pray that the work that I do is productive and helps to reach the goals that I've set for myself. Well, thank God God's in there, right? And thank God I can hear all about his goals. I've been very fortunate to have achieved the position that I have in the labor movement. I've worked very hard. I've had tremendous support from a lot of people. From the earliest days of my local union, there were 50,000 members, and now it's about 75,000. The principal officers were about 30 years older than me, but I work hard and they appreciated it and supported me. My career has been very rewarding and I've been blessed in both my public and my family life. If I were Pope, I'd probably make sure that the Cardinal McCarrick didn't retire. That'd be perfect. That's it? That's all you got? So, really transformed by John Sweeney's great words. We get to hear the next time from Reverend Robert Dranan. So, another youngster born in 1920. Surprisingly not still alive today. I am really keep like in the back of my mind wanting to. It's like you think that there's a deal on the table when the deal was told to you a long time ago, and you could scream all you want about it. You've known about it. You've known about it. You've known, you've tried to stop it. You've complained about it. You've talked about entitlement and what your rights are, and perverted people's interest to coincide with your own. And that's the only hospitality you've shown people who aren't like you in order to get their interests aligned with your own. So you have a greater populace and then getting rid of the rest. I mean, nobody wants that system. Nobody wants the system where the 1%ers are calling the shots because they only call the shots for themselves. And, you know, you can say you have the most to lose because you do have the most to lose because it has been so imbalanced, and you don't have as much to lose as what you have gained to this point, in particular with your organized criminal behavior. That kind of entitlement is like nails on a chalkboard for most people. And if you don't know what nails on a chalkboard, go give it a try. I know most people want me to do it. No, that's how it is. It's like hits a nerve right there is what it does. So, twist and turn as you might, the words, the events, the drugs McLaren did or didn't give me, right? Bullshit. There was radiation in those lights. We knew those lights. We knew what was in those lights a long time ago. You can't have fluorescent lights. What's that buzzing? And you didn't do anything about it until somebody forced your hand because you didn't think so. And that's what your entitlement has given you. Go back to early birds. You go back to early birds on the little playboard. Get your ass back to early birds. We're sick of it. We're sick of the twisting of the minds. And I'm not talking about Catholics. And I'm not talking about Irish Catholics. I'm talking about the white supremacists. Those Christian evangelical nut jobs. That's what I'm talking about. We've had it with your, I have to have my fucking guns. I have to, and Americanized all that. All in America. I have to have, those are my fucking constitutional rights. No, they're not. Read what they put there. They really did have an objective of protecting humanity. And if you were part of that and you didn't have that objective, then guess what? Correction is in order, as the teacher stated. This is Dr. Annette Feravich. This is classroom number 190, day 190 in the classroom. I'm the teacher, and if you're like what the hell, this is my first day in the classroom, well, you have got 1,000 videos to catch up. Dr. Annette Feravich. I know, thinking about a stupid joke. Oh, there she goes. What's she thinking about? I usually tell you, it's usually no mystery. That's why we're here in the classroom, hump day. I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday, 3 days on, 4 days off. Thanks.